So, hello and welcome to this week's Top 5 for the week of, January 7th, 2016. Our first Top 5 in the new year. I'm Christina Reese.
I'm Brandon Seck.
And this week was tough because there are so many openings happening all over, and we really actually agonized over this list. We've been talking about it for hours. We chose some one-night-only events because if we didn't get them in this week, they weren't going to be in at all, which means there's some amazing gallery shows that are also opening that you just need to go to our events listings because there's a lot of good stuff happening. We can get these gallery events in as top fives in the coming weeks because the shows stay out for a little while.
Yeah, so number 5 is in Houston. It's Melena Linski. She has 2 shows at Gallery Homeland. She's a MFA grad from UH. So the show's actually in 2 opposite locations. There are 2 separate shows. One is a show of sculptures called Tight Sticks, and that's the one that's opening this Saturday. And the other one is called Lady Palace, and it's a show of collages, watercolors, sculptures, and that opened about a week ago. And I've been following her work for a couple years, and I have just really loved it, and she just keeps getting better and better.
All right, so number 4 this week, and I need to disclose something because I am actually a part of this sort of big, interesting event, is it's called the 24-Hour Book Swap, and it's this weekend's event at Chalet Dallas, which is an installation that is inside the Nasher and has been for the last few months and will be for a little bit longer. But every weekend there's an event, and it's a different kind of themed thing. So this week, Karen Weiner, who runs the Reading Room, which is a gallery here in Dallas that does a lot of text-based kind of stuff, she programmed it so that there will be readings for 24 hours. So from 11 a.m. on Friday morning through to 11 a.m. on Saturday. So there will be readings by at least 45 different people over the course of this 24-hour period, and you will, it's Cam Shep and Daryl Radcliffe and Jesse Morgan Barnett and Lee Arnold and Jeremy Strick. I'm doing one. So everyone reads in these little blocks, and 24 of the people will be able to read whatever it is they want to read, whatever they bring to the table. And then the last 12 hours are people reading from the book by the Spanish writer Enrique Villamatas called The Illogic of Cassell. So you'll see somebody reading something interesting if you show up anywhere in that 24-hour period. And
number 3 is in Houston.
Here, hold on one sec.
So number 3 is an opening happening in Houston. It's a show put on by Suplex, which is a curatorial collaborative based in Houston and Chicago. It's kind of headed by Max Fields, who he works at the Contemporary Arts Museum, but has done a number of things in the past. The last show that this collective did was a little while ago, but they've kind of partnered with She Works Flexible, a space run here in Houston, to take over the Flex space, which is a little rotating exhibition space that sometimes has nothing in it, sometimes has exhibitions. So they're putting on a show by Barry Elznic, I believe is how you pronounce his name. The show is called Proceed to the Nearest Exit, and it's based around the question, if you could put on a solo exhibition without any physical or financial limits, what form would that exhibition take?
So number 2 this week is another one-night-only event. While it takes place in Dallas at the Power Station, or rather inside the Power Station, it is not a Power Station event. It's called Culture Hole. And it's the first time, this is the inaugural use of the hole. It's almost like a root cellar kind of, but much scarier. In the bottom floor of the Power Station, and Gregory Rupp and Jeff Gibbons have decided to essentially curate the space. They're not really curating it, but they'll invite an artist to come and use this very strange hole that you have to climb down into on a ladder. It's not... I don't know if I'll be going down in the hole. People will be invited to go down into the hole, but the first artist that they chose was Lana Penenschel, who's a part German, part American artist who I think is based in Austin at this point. She's going to be installing something in this hole, and I think there might be a performance aspect of it as well. It runs from 10 p.m. to midnight. That's the only time you're going to be able to see it. You got to show up. I did hear that it's not going to be a particularly child-friendly the content will not be particularly child friendly.
It's called Culture Hole.
It's called.
Number 1 is Charles Atlas, and it's at the Paramount Theater in Austin. It's part of the Strange Pilgrims show put on by the Contemporary Austin. Charles Atlas has some video works in there, so this is a bigger component that's just down the street from the Contemporary.
Yeah, he's coming to actually perform, and I mean, this is a pioneering New York artist. He's been doing incredible stuff since the 1970s with, Lee Bowery and Michael Clark and all this. He kind of pioneered this dance video form. To have Charles Atlas in Austin performing is a cool thing, and definitely, again, a one-night-only thing that's happening, so catch it while you can. We say that's it this week. That is not it. There's so much to see. Go out this weekend on Friday and Saturday night. See as much as you can. And come back next week because we've got some really, really good shows to talk about next week as well. Go see a lot of art.
Go see a lot of art.